Hello and welcome to Western Water Weekly, your source for updates on water issues that affect our communities across the West. This week, we're covering federal budget proposals, water infrastructure legislation, drought conditions, green infrastructure research, and more. Let's dive in. A new bipartisan bill could make it easier for local water projects to get the federal loans they need. On May 13th, Senators John Curtis of Utah and Mark Kelly of Arizona introduced the Restoring Wi-Fi Eligibility Act of 2025. This legislation would fix a technical barrier that has blocked some water infrastructure projects from receiving low-interest federal loans just because they also used other federal funds. As Senator Curtis put it, Utah's rapid population growth is placing significant pressure on our community water resources. This bill would ensure that if a project is managed locally and repaid with local funds, it will be treated as a non-federal project, even if federal funds are used elsewhere in the process. This means projects involving drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater systems, especially in the Colorado River Basin, could move forward faster and with fewer bureaucratic headaches. Now to Washington, where the Trump administration's draft budget for fiscal year 2026 proposes major cuts to water-related programs. Funding would be slashed for the Environmental Protection Agency's loan programs, conservation grants, and even water quality monitoring efforts. The Environmental Protection Agency's clean water and drinking water loan funds would lose nearly $2.5 billion. The Bureau of Reclamation, which manages Colorado River projects, could lose over $600 million. Other agencies, from the United States Geological Survey to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, are facing steep reductions too. However, not all the news is bad. The budget proposes increases for drinking water safety, especially for tribal lands, including a $9 million bump for emergency response programs and $31 million dedicated to reservation water infrastructure. As of this video, the House has passed its version of the budget, but we're still waiting to see how it compares to the administration's proposal. The Senate is currently reviewing it. Let's talk Lake Mead. After a strong start to the snow season, a dry winter and early melt have left the reservoir in bad shape. According to the Nevada Current, runoff into Lake Powell, the reservoir that feeds Lake Mead, is expected to be cut in half this year. Combined water storage in Lake Mead and Lake Powell is down nearly 1 million acre-feet from this time last year. That's enough water to supply almost 2 million homes for an entire year. And that's not the only challenge. Talks among the 7 Colorado River Basin states have stalled. At issue? Whether the upper basin states, like Colorado and Utah, should take mandatory cuts even though they use far less water than the lower basin states. Tensions worsened when a late amendment in the House proposed selling 11,000 acres of public land in Utah, land suspected to be in the pathway of the controversial Lake Powell pipeline. Critics say this could be a backdoor attempt to revive a project many believed was off the table. Heads up if you're a water professional. The National Groundwater Association is hosting its Managed Aquifer Recharge Conference this September in Denver. The focus is on practical strategies to recharge groundwater while protecting water quality. Registration is now open, and the event runs September 23rd to 24. Another major event is the Conference on the Colorado River, coming June 5th and 6th in Boulder, Colorado. This year's theme is Turning Hindsight into Foresight. Expect robust conversations on tribal water rights, climate adaptation, and long-term planning. Registration closes May 29th. Now for some good news out of Texas. A study from Texas A&M University Kingsville offers a game plan for cleaning up the Arroyo, Colorado River, which is suffering from nutrient pollution. Researchers found that vegetated swales, wet ponds, and porous pavement could drastically cut nitrogen and phosphorus levels, especially when combined with better farm practices like terracing and nutrient management. The total cost? Between $1.5 and $2 million, modest compared to the benefits. The study is already being cited as a model for other impaired watersheds in semi-arid regions. The Department of the Interior is asking for your input. They're reviewing all existing regulations to identify anything outdated, inefficient, or just plain confusing. If you have opinions about how water or land rules could be improved, send them to Interior. Check the Federal Register for details. Finally, let's check the drought outlook. The United States Drought Monitor report released May 22nd shows worsening conditions across much of the Colorado River Basin. Arizona and New Mexico continue to see extreme drought in some regions. California and Nevada held steady but remain dry. Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming saw drought conditions expand in key areas, especially in the south and east. Looking ahead, triple-digit temperatures are forecast for the Southwest, with little rain expected. Long-range predictions suggest that warm and dry conditions will persist into summer. That wraps up this week's Western Water Weekly. If you found this update helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can find full articles and sources at westernwater.com. Thanks for watching and stay waterwise.